Hello out there, YouTube. What's going on, everyone? It is D Done here. I am the average gaming dad. And boys, I have some great news. I think we are in for a great year of Call of Duty Warzone. In the background, already came close to dropping a 30 bomb. I've only played the game for maybe 5 or 6 hours. I was able to hop on, play a little bit last night before spending time with the family. I got a couple hours in. Didn't really do anything special, you know, dropped some 15s, some 17s. And then today, hopped on, dropped a 20, and then dropped a 27. This is the one you're going to see, the 27 kill gameplay. As always, landing in Superstore. But let's talk about the release, the integration of Black Ops 7 into Warzone. In the past, we've seen so many issues with integrations. It's left definitely a sour taste in people's mouths, and I understand that Call of Duty has not earned our community's trust. However, they really honestly knocked it out of the park with the integration. So far, I've had no big issues. Actually, I don't think really any issues. There's still kind of a long time to wait. I'm still not sure about the matchmaking changes. You know, they said that matchmaking was skill-based matchmaking was going to be tuned down in Black Ops 7, and that would carry over to Warzone. It could just be that since I was playing on the first night, that obviously not all of the most casual players are going to be on. And, you know, I was running into Twitty was my first death of the game. If you don't know Twitty, he's a World Series of Warzone player, plays on mouse and key. He crapped on me. Pamaj, who's one of the greatest snipers ever in Call of Duty. I ran into him like 4 times. He pooped on me a couple times. I got him once or twice. But still, you know, this game came out of nowhere. Most of my games have been around 15 kills in the lobbies. Have felt fairly average, but I would say, you know, I guess like relatively sweaty. I don't really know. But then this lobby was definitely pretty easy. And then there's also, of course, we have to take into account the biggest change, and that is the aim assist nerf. If you didn't know, in Black Ops 7, they nerfed aim assist pretty heavily. I think based off other channels that I watch that do very technical breakdowns like Exclusive Ace, you can go watch his video on it. It was like a 20% reduction or something like that in the aim assist. Specifically, I think rotational aim assist, which is what made aim assist so overpowered in the first place. And this is a great change. I'm not gonna lie. You know, you would think as someone who plays on controller that, you know, I would want all the aim assist possible, but it really does hinder you because it allows bad players to kill really good players, which, you know, I guess is not always a bad thing, but it greatly reduces the skill gap, and it greatly reduces your ability to actually get better at the game, because you will randomly accidentally pull massive aim assist and get kills, and then you think you're probably really good. I was really worried about it. It definitely took me a while to get used to it. Definitely like a few hours before I was shooting a lot straighter than I was day one. So, you know, I fell victim to it too. You know, I'm not trying to say that I am vastly superior to the rest of the Call of Duty player base. I am certainly not. But it's very noticeable. And so, you know, just be prepared. But I think it's, in the long run, it's a good thing. You know, you're not going to have people falsely accusing others of cheating, because once you truly know how to manipulate the aim assist in previous Call of Duties, it really did look and feel a lot like aimbot at times. So I think it will drastically reduce the cheating accusations from people, which is a great thing. I think, you know, it also elevates the skill level. That way, you know, you can actually get better at the game instead of just getting better at learning how to use aim assist. So all in all, I think that is a positive change. It is very noticeable, and I think you do feel it because it feels like the time to kill now is a lot longer. But I think in reality, we're just not getting as strong as aim assist, so we're just frankly just not hitting as many shots. So the time to kill seems like artificially inflated, right? Just because you miss more. But all in all, I think it's in a really good place. Normally, you know, there's just a ton of menu bugs. You know, the matchmaking screwed up. There has not been a single issue that I ran into with matchmaking, with bugs in the menu, with adding attachments. I haven't crashed out of a game, and I still want to preface this. This is still very early, and I have only played for about 5 hours, 6 hours in there. So obviously other things could come up. But in my experience, I've had a very, very positive experience. It definitely seems like a lot of people are not playing solos because the queue times are still a little long. But for the most part, I'm still able to find a game much faster than I was last week on Black Ops 6. So that's a positive thing. That means people are back playing. Other than that, I mean, it's just, I think we're in a really good year. Just the fact that we have a smooth transition, because everyone knows, like, over Christmas, there's like a 2-week where all the developers take a break. And so if there's any issues in the game, they just don't get fixed for weeks. If the game stays like this until January, I think a lot of people might come back to Call of Duty, might, you know, just have it work. And it's sad that that's the bar that we're at, that the game just functions as intended. But that is where we're at, and that's the bar. And they've definitely cleared that. Issues that I have, not bugs or anything like that, but there's still some things I'm worried about. Obviously, I don't have everything unlocked. I will say that the gun leveling up takes a very long time. From my experience, you know, I've used the same guns for 2 or 3 games, gotten plenty of kills, you know, completed a bunch of contracts. I have double XP popped, and you know, this game actually that I dropped, this 27, I only gained with double XP on Battle Pass, weapon XP, and just generic XP. I only gained, I don't know, maybe like 3 levels, 5 levels. My guns only went up by a few levels, and I think I only actually earned like 1 or 2 Battle Pass tokens, which for me with double XP, you know, completing multiple contracts, dropping almost 30 kills, like that's a good game. I think I finished 2nd or 3rd. So it's definitely a high placement. So you would think this would have been like an XP farm kind of game, but it didn't feel like it. So I would like to see them increase the speed at which you level up your guns and your character and get through the battle pass. I also think that Ghost is way too powerful. I almost had a gameplay for you guys, a nice 20 plus last night. I was like at 17 or 18. There was still like 25 people up. I popped an advanced UAV and I got murked by 2 guys I had no idea were there because Ghost counters an advanced UAV. To me, that's a problem. If a player or a team is willing to invest, you know, a lot of their economy, $18,000 for 3 UAVs, you should be able to at least temporarily see every player on the map, regardless of whether they have Ghost or not. Now, they do have a counter. As you can see here, I'm running the heartbeat, and Ghost, it does not counter the heartbeat. You have to run cold-blooded for that. But even still, that's very limited in the scope. You know, as you can see, I'm at the very edge of where I can ping this guy, and that was 28 meters. So the max is probably 30 meters, which is not that far. This guy gets absolutely bamboozled. Like, that's where you can see that a week ago playing Black Ops 6, that guy probably kills me. But since I'm using Sprinter and I'm moving very quickly, all of a sudden he can't hit me. And then he slides in, he's whiffing, and I'm able to get the kill. And so that's probably an example of where the aim assist nerf is playing a factor. But anyway, I digress. I think Ghost is too powerful, or maybe they extend the range of the heartbeat sensor. But the fact, I think there's got to be a balance there, because obviously you have to be moving for Ghost to work, but I don't even think you have to be like sprinting for it to engage. So like I said, I think Ghost right now is probably the strongest perk, in my opinion. That's definitely what I'm going to be running probably from here on out. Trying to think what else. Ghost is definitely a problem. I cannot comment on gun balance because I don't have all of the guns unlocked, and I don't want to tell you like what the best class setup is and what the best gun is because I don't want to lie to my subscribers and give you guys BS just for clicks. I will tell you in this gameplay, I was going off the advice of J God's video. If you don't know J God, just YouTube him, look him up. He does a lot of breakdowns of time to kills and guns and builds and everything. So in this gameplay, I'm using the MXR 17 assault rifle and the MPC 25 submachine gun. My perks, I'm using cold-blooded so that I'm stay off the heartbeat sensor, and so alertness doesn't trigger. And then I'm running ghost. And I think these are going to probably be the meta perks, I would imagine, just because there's really nothing to compete against. And one thing that they brought back was lootable perks. So you can get perks out of just regular crates. And I mean, I think you can probably have up to 3, 4, 5, 6, like probably close to 10 perks. So, you know, you're halfway to specialist easily if you loot a lot and get lucky with your perks. But one of them is awareness, right? So when people look at you, you have the things that flash on the side of the screen. And then you also have, when you're within 30 meters, it gives you a warning, that enemy nearby thing that pops up. And so cold-blooded counters that. And to me, that's very, very valuable because, you know, if you're pushing at someone and maybe they're not aware, they get that alert, they're going to, you know, hide in a corner or whatever. So you can really catch people by surprise because people tend to rely on that perk instead of just using their mini map or awareness. And so, so yeah, Cold Blood I think is really strong. Ghost is obviously very strong because you will never show up on a UAV. Put those together and you will never be pinged ever, either by heartbeat sensor or UAV. So I think those are really strong. And then my other perk is Sprinter. And Sprinter, I think, is also going to be a must unless you are not an aggressive player. And I mean, like, really not aggressive, like sit on a building and snipe most of the time, not aggressive, because without it, you move so slow. You move so slow. You cannot tactical sprint unless you use that perk. And then also, if you pull out your knife or your melee weapon, then you have unlimited tac sprint with that out. So you can absolutely fly around the map when you are using Sprinter. And if you are not using Sprinter and you are getting pushed, you know, someone breaks you and then you try to escape, if you don't have Sprinter and they do, you are definitely dead. You are 100% a goner because they will be able to outrun you expeditiously, we'll say. So those are my 3 perks. I don't think I'll be moving away from those 3 perks. Like I said, I don't know the meta guns. I don't know all the guns, so we don't know what's broken. But I feel with a lot of certainty that the meta perks are going to be Sprinter, Ghost, and Cold-Blooded. Or at least those are definitely going to be in the top 5, top 6 perks that you're going to want to choose from. And honestly, guys, like I'm so excited to just make this video because I'm excited about Call of Duty again. If you don't know my story, if you're new here, I've been playing Call of Duty since the original Call of Duty 4 back in 2007. I've been making YouTube videos for like a decade on and off, and like Call of Duty has been in a bad place for a really long time. And I'm not gonna lie, like the game is good. It feels good. I like the changes. It definitely takes a little bit getting used to with the aim assist nerf and everything, but I truly believe that's going to be a positive, especially for our mouse and keyboard friends who just frankly could not compete. So I'm really excited for them. I think this is going to bring a lot of players back. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. If you don't, like, that's okay. You know, Call of Duty's not for everyone. It's all good. But I would love to engage with you guys and have a conversation in the comments section. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like or dislike about the game so far. If you have any questions about the game, about anything that I didn't cover, by all means, ask away. Like I said, I always say I respond to every comment. But otherwise, you know, I really just want to say, like, I'm excited about Call of Duty this year. Like, I'm excited to hop on and play Warzone. I feel like I did, you know, in my early 30s or my late 20s, whenever I would get on to Call of Duty, and I was just like so pumped to like come home from work. I was like, yes, I get to hop on, I get to play because I love this game. And it hasn't always been like that in recent years, and it does actually feel like that now. So I'm really excited. I hope you guys are enjoying the game as much as I do. But I'm going to shut up. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of this banger. I feel like if I can get a 27 basically within a day of the game, I'm going to be dropping 30s again soon. You'll love to see it. Let's set a goal this year that my new PR will be my age. So new PR goal is 37 this year. If I don't hit it by October, it's going up to 38. But that's the goal. If you guys are new and want to stick around, watch these gameplays, see how I do. If you enjoy this kind of content, this like old school gameplay commentary, subscribe. And if you really like this content and you want to help support me and my family and the channel, you can always become a paid member here on YouTube. We're getting close to 1,000 subs. I'm also, you know, I talked to my wife, and I think we are working out a schedule soon where hopefully I can start live streaming again. So look forward to that. But again, just thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your time. I always want to say that, you know, you don't have to spend 25 minutes of your day listening to me yap and watching me play video games, but you do, and that means a lot to me. So thank you guys so much for your time. If you're new, let's build a community here. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Fresh mag.
No fuel, no
Indicating
fuel.
waypoint.
UAV RTB.
Gas is closing in. Rally on marked coords. Reloading. Adding armor.
UAV standing by. UAV available for tasking. Mission timeline over. UAV exiting the area.
Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone. Adding armor. Be advised, there's an enemy squad gunning for you. You've got a loadout drop inbound. Only 10
Switching
left.
mags.
UAV standing by. No fuel, no fuel. UAV RTB.
Gas is moving. You've got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated. Gas is inbound. You're clear. Enemy hunters were eliminated.
Mission timeline over. UAV exiting the area.
Only 4 remain. Finish the job. Gas is closing in. Relocating safe zone.